Happy Friday. Let's chit chat. So, you know what I've came to notice as I just, get older and go through the season that I'm just basically kind of getting ready to come up out of. But, I've learned so much in this last season of life. And the biggest takeaway that, I would just like to share is that one of the best things that we can do for ourselves is to really understand the nature of people and to understand that there are going to be people who are going to hurt you. And some of those people are going to be people that you love, and some of the hurt that they give out is going to come intentionally. Some of it is going to come unintentionally. But one thing about hurt is hurt, right? It don't hurt any less because it was unintentional, right? So that's what I've came to realize is that you're rarely going to escape, a relationship without that person ever doing anything to you. If you're in a relationship where you and that person have never went through nothing, well, you could count the days then because it's coming up. It's going to happen. Like the person is going to piss you off. They're going to do something that you never thought they would. They're going to say something that you never thought they would. They're going to start acting a certain way. They're going to make some decisions that you don't like, even in their personal life. They're going to do some things that just leave you dumbfounded, like, you never thought they would do that. You never thought they would say that. You never thought they would make those type of decisions. Like people are going to people. At the end of the day, people are going to people. They're going to show up as who they are, which is imperfect human beings. That's what we all are. And we just have to give room for that. We have to give room for that in our life, in our heart, in our mind. We have to really wrap our mind around the fact that it does not matter who these people are to us. They're not perfect. And they are going to do things that disappoint us, that come up short, that hurt us, that anger us. They're going to do those things. And when they do those things, we're going to have a response to it. And our response may hurt them. Our response may disappoint them. Our response may, show them another side of us that we've never seen or that they've never seen. So it's definitely going to be a two-way street. Why? Because people going to people. People are going to do what people do. And that is walk, talk, move, think, live, breathe in a way that does not always work for someone else. In a way that may not always be the best move. In a way that may not always paint them in the most positive light. In the way that may not show their most mature side. In a way that may not be the most nice things that, they could say or do. It's great when people are intentional about presenting well and doing well by others and making decisions that's great for them, as well as trying to make decisions that works well for the people in their life. That's great when people walk that walk and when they can. But truthfully, all of us cannot always do that. The decisions that we make in our life, the things that we do, the things that we want to do, they're going to hurt somebody. And the people that they're going to hurt generally is going to be the people who are closest to us. And it's not just a girlfriend, a boyfriend, husband, wife. It's not just in those relationships. Your kids are going to do some things that hurt you as parents. Your parents are going to do some things that hurt you as a child. Your siblings are going to do things that hurt you. Your husband is going to definitely do and say some things that's going to hurt you. Your supervisors are going to do some things that anger you or piss you off. Even your grandparents are going to say some things that may hurt your feelings. They may do some things that you feel like, hey, had they done this better, then this may not have happened in my life, or this might have went a little better had they did X, Y, or Z. So it's just no way around it. Just as sure as you are here, you're going to experience things that you do not like from people that you do like. And I think that's where the difficulties lie, because you have to figure out how you're going to accept and deal with, or if you're going to accept and continue to deal with people who you love or people who you like after they have hurt you, or after they have, disappointed you. And the funny thing is that, a lot of times people tend to have an attitude where, hey, we cutting them off, we doing this, we doing that. I'm one of those people. So I understand that. But truthfully, you can't cut everybody off. And at some point, everybody shows up in a certain way. Now, of course, people do certain things on different levels. It's some things that people do that they can't come back from. And then there's other things that people do that, yeah, you know what? You may give a little grace for that. And even within that realm, it's some things that two people in your life can do the exact same thing. But one of them people you're going to cut off because they did it. And then the other person, you may get a little mad, or you may get distance for a while, but you're not going to cut them completely off. And they could have done the same exact thing. Now, yeah, the situation, the circumstances may be different. The time period in which they did it may be different. How they went about doing it may be different. But at the end of the day, it's the same thing. But you may or may not have a little more grace for this person than you did for the last person. So, and those are things that you have to consider, because it's nothing new under the sun. So people going to be doing some of the same things, saying some of the same things, moving in some of the same ways, and just as well as there are nice things and good things that you like, it's equally going to be things that you hate, that you despise, that you can't stand. That is what people do. People show love, and people break hearts, and people hurt you in the same way that people love on you and, just pour on accolades. The same way they pour on accolades to you, the same way the flip side of that is that you're going to have somebody that's dragging you and talking about you and talking down about you, scandalizing your name, the same way you will have the opposite of that. People bigging up your name, speaking highly of you in good places, talking good about you. So, like I said, it comes down to people gon' people, and when you walk in this life, you can decide, what things are your deal breakers and what things you're just not going to put up with. And, the funny thing in life is that the things that you saying you ain't gonna put up with, somebody that you really, really love will come and do that same thing. And then you got to say, what, are you going to put up with it from them? Or are you going to, stick to your guns and cut them all the way off? Because that's just something you already told yourself that you're never going to deal with. So life is interesting, and people going to people. And you have to just give them room to be who they gonna be. And you have to give them room for growth as well. Because everybody is not, coming in on the same plane and coming in on the same levels. So you may have an understanding for why something is incorrect, or why, you should not have moved like this, or you don't say this, you don't say that. You may have a great understanding for that. But the person, who does something to you that you don't like, they may not have gotten to that point yet where they realize how disrespectful what they're doing is, or how, how negative what they're saying is. People grow in different ways and at different points and at different times. So sometimes the hurt that the people bring is really and truly unintentional. Nevertheless, it still hurts. But sometimes it's a lack of growth. They didn't know that what they did was going to affect you in that way. They didn't know that, loyalty was a big thing for you. And that when they went behind your back and betrayed you or did X, Y, and Z, that it was going to really put you in a place where you never would talk to them again. They probably knew you would be pissed off, but they may not have known that it was going to make you cut them off for life. And I'm not saying that you right, wrong, or indifferent, because everybody has their deal breakers. Everybody has the things that, they just refuse to put up with. But in life, you don't even have to, you really don't have to take it so personal. You can really get to the point where you grow and you understand that you don't have to take it as personal. Meaning you don't even have to let it hurt you so much that it's so devastating to you. Because when you really wrap your mind around the fact that people are going to do these things, that's a part of life. You're not going to be here and not get hurt. You're not going to be here and not get, spoken to in the wrong way. You're not going to be here and not experience some of those things. Now, yes, sometimes people experience way more than they should ever have had to, in the same way that some people, they rarely get to experience some negative things here and there, yes, but on a regular basis, maybe not. Maybe, some people are able to avoid a lot of things for a certain length of time. And maybe some people get fortunate enough to, avoid a lot of things all their life. But on average, most of us, we're going through some things and we go through some things. And, as sad as it is, a lot of times the people closest to us have brought us the most hurt. So for me, it's just something that I'm working on and trying to, really wrap my mind around, because I don't want to be so emotionally invested and, emotionally distraught when people do certain things. So for me, I'm trying to wrap my mind really around the fact that people are going to do these things, and you have to be, as mentally and emotionally intelligent as possible, so that when these things happen, it's not devastation to you. It does not disrupt your life. It does not make your heart skip a beat. It does not, mess your stomach up, have you going to the bathroom, have you not being able to eat. When people show up as people, we need to, in my opinion, be in a place where we can accept that, hey, they have shown up in this way. Now, what am I going to do? And sometimes though, those decisions are better not made that same day when you're in your emotions. Sometimes you have to sit on it, wait on it before you start replying, before you start texting, before you pick up the phone and start saying whatever you're going to say, before you go to the house and start, doing whatever you're going to do to them or to their property or whatever. Sometimes you have to sit on that thing and really deal with it from a emotionally intelligent space before you act out. And before you speak out and say the wrong thing and make a bad situation even worse. Right? So I just encourage everybody to, really get a grip on that life really is happening. And people really are imperfect people. And they really, they really will do some things that will bother you and will hurt you. And, sometimes the people that do that, you still have to find a way to love those people after they've done that. And it may be a situation where it may take some time. But again, everybody you can't cut off. But everybody you can expect at some point will do something, say something, that hurts you or offends you. You can prepare yourself for that. And while you prepare yourself for that, you can prepare yourself for how you may decide to deal with those things when they happen.